Alright, and welcome, and this video might suggest that I've made an absolute bobo on this engine. If any of you have been following my videos in the past, you'll have known that I've rebuilt this engine fully, right from the gearbox bearings, crank bearings, all the way up, and I've just posted the top end rebuild on it. So I've got everything done, happy with everything. And then I did all my final checks, and this was before I actually posted the video, and it did cross my mind not to post the rebuild video, but I thought, you know what, I'll just roll with it anyway and see how it goes. So I'll show you why this bottom end ain't going to work with this top end anyway, and I'll show you what I came across when I checked it. So I'll bring you in closer. Alright, so I was here just having a look around, make sure everything was as it should be and nipped up, just checking things over really when I'd fit the top end, and until I looked under here, and then my heart sank a little bit and I knew I'd messed up big time. And underneath there you can just see it's one of the ports for the cooling, for the liquid cooling on the barrel. So luckily I didn't get it on the bike and filled up and water didn't come pouring out like that, but I'll show you the differences on the cases. So if you look there ain't much difference really. All there is that one part. You see it has it on the old case there, and on the new case it's not. Right, so the whole reason why I changed the cases in the first place was because I discovered that on the old case, when I was riding, I was getting a bit of bottom end noise. Bit of, not so much a knocking, but you tell someone wasn't right anyway. I initially thought it was the big end bearing, so I stripped it down, changed the big end, got that done, got it back in the bike, fired it up, and instantly I knew something was wrong again. It was doing the same noise, so at least I'd knocked that mark off, though it wasn't the crank anyway. So I stripped it down again, and then it wasn't until that point there when I'd had the bearing in the case, and then I flipped it over to put some of the to put this bearing in here, and then the crank bearing fell out, and it was after it had cooled down a bit, so straight away I knew something was wrong. I put the bearing back in, and I could see that the bearing was spinning in the case, and that was the same on both cases. So what's happened is if you can see in there, the actual the housing of the bearing, it's become worn, and the bearings started to spin instead of the actual inner race. And so when I discovered that, I mentioned it to one of the blokes who owns a local shop, who did me crank the big end for me, and he just mentioned that they happen to have crankcase sets for a KX125. He said he thought it was a 1995, but to be fair to him, he said make sure you double check because he ain't too sure. Obviously, and he gave it to me pretty cheap, to be fair, so I was all over it. And like I say, when you look at both the cases together, everything's exactly the same apart from that top end. So what I'm going to do is, or my plan is anyway, I'm going to strip this down, and I'm going to try and use, I've got some bearing retaining compound, I'm going to try and use that in it. Whether it'll work or not, it says it works, it's supposed to be really good gear, but it's got slight, it's tolerant to slight oils, so whether it'll work with fuel or not in the pre-mix, I'm not sure. So if any of you have got any experience in that, or you know you've tried it yourself and it's worked, let us know. If it don't, I've got to try something. I was going to try the bearing retainer in the first place, but like I say, these cases came up pretty cheap, so I thought I'll do it that way. And like I say, when I got it all built, these cases are in a lot better nick than these ones. This engine, when I first got the bike a few years ago now, it's had an hard life, and it won't looked after at all. So yeah, I was pretty gutted when I discovered that, but what can you do? It's done now, so yeah, so I'll try this bearing retainer. I'll probably do a separate video on that and let you know how it goes, but for now I'm going to get this stripped back down and see how quick I can do it. So yeah, let the montage begin. Alright, so that's that engine all stripped. Didn't take me too long, so not too bad. Not sure what I'm going to do with them cases as yet. Might keep hold of them, see if we can get a matching barrel for it. I don't know if you saw at the end there, I just thought I'd experiment getting the crank out of that last case. I thought I'd try a little bit of heat, put a bit of heat on it and it just drops out, so didn't need the splitter, which was obviously better for the case anyway. So going ahead, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get these cases cleaned off, sort of something like, and then give it a go really. Like I said, I'm going to try this bearing retainer. Never used it before, so see what it's like. I'm not sure yet on how I'm going to get the bearing in the crank with using this, because normally I'll heat the case up and put the bearing in the freezer, so I'm not sure on that yet. But if anyone out there is watching and they use this on the bearings before, let us know. Let us know how we go on, if it works or not. So yeah, that's about it really. These things happen, worst things happen at sea, so I'll give it a go, see what happens. Yeah, so thanks for watching, much appreciated. Keep an eye out for the next video, and I'll try and do a video on using that bearing retainer. Fingers crossed it'll work. So, but we won't really know until I get the crank in, and probably won't know properly until the bike's fired up. So yeah, who knows. So thanks for watching, keep it tight, much appreciated.